Well, I didn't think it'd be so soon, but we're heading back to supermarkets, and not just any supermarket, but Marks and Spencer's with a new range of craft beer. And this one is what we're going to be reviewing today. This is a New England IPA from M&S and Northern Monk. But what's it going to be like? Keep on watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review today. Yeah, we're going to the supermarkets again. I mean, we had a whole load of different supermarket beers, and I thought, oh, well, they've got them out of the way, and we're now sort of move on to some of the bottle shop beers. And it was, it was nice. We had some pretty good. I've had some pretty good beers, non-supermarket beers. And I was continually thinking, oh, well, I'm going to be drinking these, and then suddenly I saw that. There were some new beers in Marks and Spencer's. Now, we've had craft beer from Marks and Spencer's before, probably going back at least a year or so, where there was a Polly's one called Moonwrecker, some other ones as well. And they were all right, but nothing that would make me go back to M&S and keep buying them. The Polly's was okay, but it wasn't the best Polly's, I don't think. But we've got beers today. Now, the one I'm going to review today is this one. It's just called a New England IPA. It's obviously got Marks and Spencer sort of branding on it, but we know it's Northern Monk. Doesn't say anything about what hops are on it. By the way, these are all £3.50. In fact, all the ones that I'm going to quickly show you were £3.50. But there's a few. So you can see this is it's not very Northern Monk-esque. It hasn't got their logo on it. It's got their name on it, but we don't know whether it's going to be what it's going to be like. I'm assuming it's just a Northern Monk IPA, which is usually going to be a good thing from supermarkets. But obviously M&S put their sort of sheen over it. And there's a few beers like that in there, like 4-packs of beers, like the Hazy Pale Ale, American Pale Ale, I think there was probably a lager as well, and something else, Session IPA or something like that. And they were all sort of Marks and Spencer sort of branded, but then they had little words on who they were. So it was like Vocation was on some. I think Vocation was on 2 of them, the hazy one and the American Pale Ale. And then there was some other, I think it was 4 Pure was on one, and Harbour being the other one. So there's a lot of these very M&S branded beers. They're obviously trying to get into the craft scene. But the other beers that I picked up, they don't have M&S branding on them. One I'm quite excited about is this one from Polly's. I mean, Polly's been in there before. They make great beer. We've had some great supermarket beers from Polly's. But what's interesting is this one's called What? And this is actually, I've seen this one in their bottle shop. I've seen it on their website. I've seen it in bottle shops. I haven't actually had it, so I'm looking forward to this one. Again, a £3.50. Another one that I've seen before but I haven't had, this is an Arbor Ale. As you can see, it's in a smaller can, not the usual pint cans, a 440 can. This is obviously it's called Talus in Wonderland. It's got Talus hop in it, but it's also got Idaho 7 and Azaka hops in it. So yeah, that one should be quite good. And then the last one I got was this Brew by Numbers one, and it's sort of quite striking green colour, number 5, and this is an IPA. It's got Strata and Talus in it as well. So we're going to be reviewing them coming up in the next week or so, but today let's crack open the Northern Monk one. I've had some really good Northern Monk beers in supermarkets over the last sort of month or so, especially the beer, I'm trying to remember the name of it now, Eternal Juice, I think it's called, Eternal Juice from Sainsbury's. I keep buying it because Sainsbury's is my local supermarket, and I think it is a really, really good one. But I also really like the one they had from Waitrose, the Laura Slater Citra IPA, and I think the next one that I really like is the Tank Petrol one. So there's some really good ones from Northern Monk. We'll see what this one's like. So beer in a glass. Yeah, I mean, we're looking like it's a New England IPA, and it's looking like one. It's got, I would say, it's a slightly more orangey sort of peachy colour. 2 and a bit fingers of, ivory white sort of head. Looks like a New England IPA. Not quite as, I don't know, not quite as custardy, but still looking quite thick. Let's see what the aromas are like. Yeah, there's sort of mango and passion fruit. Bit of citrus fruits in there. It smells okay. It doesn't smell as good as the other ones. I'm worried, this has been a very specially formulated Northern Monk beer for M&S. So maybe there has been more compromises than normal. But let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, there's definitely some compromises there. It's not up to the usual standards. The body's a bit thin. The flavour's got a bit of a twang to it, if that makes any sense. We're getting lots of sort of mango in here. And there's also that, I think it's probably got something like strata in it, because it's got that very, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like weedy, if that makes sense. Weedy sort of strata. Can have some grapefruit, can be quite, I think it's quite dank, and there's definitely a dankness in this beer. It's got a, I suppose if I was thinking what this tastes like from Northern Monk, it's probably closer to things like Heathen. Yeah, it's definitely more of that sort of, the body's similar. It's not quite as thick as, you know, the Eternal Juice or the Laura Slater or the Tank Petrol, where it's more like the Heathen and the other one, with the Heretic, the new one, which was the other one, which I'm not as much keen on. This is much more similar to that. In fact, it could be Heretic for all I know. Yeah, it's all right, but it's a bit thin. Carbonation's soft. It's quite smooth as it goes down, but it's a little bit thin and a little bit more, as you say, weedy. It's got that mango up front, and there's quite a lot of sort of dankness, and then you're wanting it to develop into something, but it doesn't really. I'm not getting much in the way of passion fruits coming in a little bit, but I'm not getting those bright citrusy flavours. I'm not getting lemons and limes and grapefruit at all. It's very sort of mango and stone fruit, and then it's quite, and that sort of weedy, sort of slightly earthy sort of taste. That sort of, you know, if you know your hops, your Strata and your Simcoe give those sort of vibes. Strata more so. It is a bit like a sort of, it's almost got like a slight, almost cannabis sort of flavour, if that makes any sense, Strata. And that's why it's a little bit of, for me, a Marmitey sort of hop. It works usually better with other stuff, but if it's too much of it, it's over dominant, and you've either got to like it or you don't like it, really. So, not bad, but I would almost say straight from the mark. It's difficult to gauge it, because I look at the can and I think, Northern Monk, they've put their name on it. It says it was brewed and packed in the UK, but then the address is the Marks and Spencer's address, and you think, well, was it not brewed in Yorkshire, in Leeds, where Northern Monk are? So you worry where it's at. Is it an M&S? Has it been made at M&S? And Northern Monk have sort of given them the recipe? I'm not sure. It's an okay beer. I mean, again, a couple of years ago, if you go on the supermarket and had this beer, you'd be going, yeah, this is a pretty good beer. But Northern Monk have done better, definitely for me. It might just be because the flavour is not quite how my preference, but it doesn't quite hit the mark like those other ones. I mean, the Eternal Juice is just a really, really good supermarket beer. I mean, Polly's was the Polly's one, which was up the Melting Rose one, which is there, was my favourite supermarket beer. But it basically, I think, it's on a short run, so it didn't last very long. You can't see it in Sainsbury's anymore. The Eternal Juice Northern Monk one, which I don't think, I must be up. It's probably up there somewhere, but I'm not going to jump up and find it. Is still the best one, in my opinion. Still definitely the best supermarket beer generally, but it's also obviously the best Northern Monk. But this one, in terms of where it fits in, it's a little bit, just about above average. It's okay, but Northern Monk have made better beers, and there's been better beers in the supermarkets. Well, I've tasted enough. So, let's get them scores. Okay, the scores are in for M&S New England IPA, made by, well, we don't know if it's made by Northern Monk, but Northern Monk's got something to do with it at some point. I'd be interested to know if you know anything. I had a quick, when I was doing the scores, I just had a quick look and saw it's got tasting notes. I didn't even read them before. It says a vibrant, hazy, pale beer, double dry hop. So it's a double dry hopped as well, with a smooth, creamy character, pillow soft taste, and tropical notes of pineapple, mango, and what's that last one? Lemon. I'm not really picking up much lemon. Definitely mango. Pineapple? I'm going to have one more taste of this. No. No, it's not that. It's definitely mango, passion fruit, I think, in terms of flavours. But let's go to scores. Starting with aroma. Appearance. Flavour. Value for money. My overall experience. Tighten the scores up. Well, we just about get into the recommended. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I've got 2 of these, so I will probably drink the other one, you know, in a couple of days and see how the dust settles. Because I've got to be, when I first had a tank petrol, which was the new one in Tesco from Northern Monk, I thought it was a bit meh, really, not up to Northern Monk standards. But I've had it since a couple of times, and actually, the more I drink it, the better it tastes. So I'm not sure about this one. I just think it's just, for me, I just think it's just, there's a hop in there. I reckon it's got strata hop in there, which is just, it's just giving a little bit of dankness. And it's, as I said, I don't really buy Heathen, which is still readily available. And I haven't bought the Heretic one, which is also obviously new and available. It's much more along those lines. So if you do, I mean, not many people go to M&S, but if you do go to M&S and you've got that locally, then you should try it and see what you think. If you've had Heretic or Heathen and you like those beers, then you probably would like this. But if you're more into the more sort of brighter citrusy sort of ones, like Tank Petrol and Eternal Haze, then you might find it not quite to your tasting, to your flavour, as it were. So we've got the 3 more M&S coming up this week, so keep tuned for that. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, then you'll get notified as soon as those videos drop. Please like the video. It really helps the channel. It really helps if we get more thumbs up, more people get putting more front of more people get to see it. People need to know that there's a craft beer and MS. I mean, I don't think many people would really think of it, Marks and Spencer's, as a place to go and get craft beer, but they've got a reasonably good range there, so definitely worth checking out. Hope you enjoyed it. As I said, give it a thumbs up if you haven't already, and until the next one, you know what you'll do. Keep on rocking.